Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds. Today, a tier list again, but what is it this time?
Oh, it's a good one. It's going to be the EDH Stereotypes.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. You like these tier lists? Like when I break this chair? Better subscribe to the channel so I break more chairs.
Yeah, besides, you better be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% more likely or less likely to be the stereotype of their choosing.
Disclaimer guy here, the Nitpicking Nerds don't know anything about stereotypes or what makes them stereotypes or whatever.
And do you know what we get to say at the beginning of this video?
No.
We're not trying to offend anybody.
This is opinion.
Yes, but
And
also...
none of these are actual real people that we know or any real people that exist, but they're rather an overarching stereotype of people that do exist.
Right, so we're not calling anybody out or anything. So the first stereotype is the professor. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to go into it, and we're just going to say how fun or unfun they are to play against, I guess. The people.
Yeah, exactly. We're exactly what we're going to do. Let's just jump into it, actually. This is easy.
Yeah, first one is Johnny. That is the combo player. The guy who likes to build combo decks.
There's nothing wrong with playing against Johnny Combo Player. He builds combo decks. That's all he does. I'd give him...
Johnny's pretty broad, but Johnny Combo Player can fall into some traps, but that's different people. So Johnny, what do you want, A?
Hey, yeah.
Johnny can do what he wants.
Because combo's not, like, it's not as fun. It's only because I don't want to play against combo that much.
Right, it's not like I want to play against combo every time, but hey, Johnny, nothing wrong with you. Keep doing your thing. Next up is Timmy. He just likes big, dumb stuff.
Yeah. It's so easy. Such an easy S.
Timmy, S tier. S tier, Timmy.
Timmy players are great to play against. They're fun to play against. They don't complain ever. I've never played against a player that I would consider a Timmy that I've seen complain.
They have to be like an ignorant Timmy, but even then, that's still, I think that falls under a different stereotype.
Yeah, it's a combination of stereotypes, which
right.
Can obviously exist.
Of course. And we're going through the most broad ones first. So Spike, obviously, is next.
Spike, you throw it at C.
Play to win. Always make like the best optimal decision. That's kind of like CDH, basically.
Yeah, the CDH is fine if you're playing CDH. If you're playing Spike in EDH,
that's a different person.
It can totally get annoying. There can be annoying things about Spike players. Again, we're average. This is the
average.
I'm totally fine with playing against this person, but we'll just throw them at average.
We're ranking the mental concepts in our head, man. I'm actually so excited. I'm really excited to just talk about this dumb stuff that happens.
All right.
Vorthos is next. Vorthos are the players that build flavor decks, or they care about like the actual cards.
B.
B. Why is that? Do you have anything to add?
Because the lore's terrible, and throwing yourself into a terrible lore kind of annoys me in a way.
Really? I would toss them an A. I mean, good for you. Build whatever you want.
I mean, I'm fine with, but my problem is that they like. So many people are immersed in something that is so bad. It's like
they're allowed to. Millions and billions of people like stuff that I don't like.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
That's not gonna like do anything else. Next, we have now all of these rest of ones they're not psychographs like the first four. We've made them up from our experience. So many people do this stuff. Number one, we have the announcer, which is this person reads all their cards even if you tell them not to, or say, "Yep, I know what that one does." Or they say like, Elish Norn. I'm like, okay, this is a 4/7 for 7 mana. It's like, okay, oh my God, please stop. Like that slows down the game so bad. And if you just like, they're the ones who are the first ones to say like, oh, what's going on? Who's got this? Who's got what? It's like, okay.
If you don't know what your cards, if someone doesn't know what your cards do, gladly read them when they ask.
Right.
Don't read your card beforehand. And actually, this sounds like a pot shot at one of our friends who reads his commander, but that's a joke.
Yeah, that's definitely...
Yeah, this isn't a pot shot at you.
Okay, well, announcer, like, C, below Spike? It's not game-breaking. It's just kind of annoying. Yeah. I wish they would stop. It's not even something that's annoying enough where I tell them to stop.
Yeah, you can put them at C. C is a perfectly reasonable rank.
All right, announcers, you're at a C. Next, we have Brewer. This is always, like... This is the player who's brewing their own stuff. They basically never look anywhere else. They're like, all right, here's my deck. Trade binder deck. I've brewed this just from my stuff. So the decks are usually meh.
I have no problem with the brewer. I'll put it in S tier because I don't see any problem with like players who brew their own decks and do whatever they want.
Brewers and Timmys, man, that's sort of the heart of EDH right there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Bumbler. We describe this as a player who's, they're pretty good and they know what they're doing and they know what all their cards do, but they misplay every game. Every game they make a misplay because they're not focused, or they're scatterbrained, they're not thinking right, or they just make a dumb mistake and it ends up costing them. I mean, obviously I don't have a problem with this. I wish they wouldn't do that because it hurts them. It doesn't hurt me.
I just give these a B.
B?
Because my problem with people who bumble is you feel bad not letting them go back half the time, or the fact
constant takes backsies too.
Yeah, constant having to let them take back too. Like letting them take back is fine, but sometimes you're just like, no, don't do that. Why? Every creature's indestructible. Remember when he cast that spell earlier this turn?
Right.
Or something.
Don't target his guy. You have to kind of handhold them a little bit. And I guess I'm a little annoyed when my opponents don't play optimally, where it's like, well, maybe I wouldn't have beat you if you played your deck right, but I won. It doesn't really feel like a game.
I don't like something about that a bumbling player will end up doing is accidentally playing Kingmaker, making the play that they feel is optimal, but you're kind of not thinking. Even if I've had this happen where I just don't win games because I'm like, why would you do that? Why? You're literally only benefiting one person, and it's not you.
And then, you know what? Everyone knows what we're talking about. You know how that goes. Next up, we have the cheater. I don't know who likes to play against cheaters, but it literally makes me so mad.
Yeah, if you're actively cheating in EDH, you're the worst. You're in poop tier, poop minus.
Easy poop tier. We're not even going to debate it. Don't add us in the comments. If you're a cheater, I don't want to play with you, and I don't play with cheaters. So
yeah, it's that easy poop tier.
Yeah, like cheaters are so bad. Like I don't like confronting people, but if a cheater will like ask me to play Commander, I'll just say no. Simple. Next we have chill. This is the chill dude who just kind of is there for fun and basically doesn't care what happens at all.
Yeah, this is A, only because I want someone a little more invested than the average chill guy. They tend to just sit there and just not care about the game whatsoever. And we sat down for a game of EDH. Not that it needs to be the heart and soul of everything we're doing, but we are playing a game of EDH. Maybe commit to it a little more.
Right. They could lose 10 games in a row and they're just like, yeah, man, let's play again. Let's go.
I'm totally fine with the
That's
chill.
a great attitude.
It's not like I don't want to play against chill people. I just think they're not as... There is a downside to being too chill.
Too chill. Don't be too chill. Next, we have the distracted player. This is the player who you look at them because it's their turn, but they're doing this.
No one can see your phone. No one can see your phone. We're tiny in the corner, BZ.
They're literally just on their phone.
Okay.
And they don't know it's their turn. They don't know what's going on. And now every time it's their turn or they have to make an action, you have to catch them up on everything that's going on.
Yeah, distracted players are
like a D?
A D or a C. I don't hate distracted players. They can
C minus then.
They can just be better. Like there's so much worse things, and like I'm fine if I have a distracted player anytime over like a cheater or some of these other ones coming up.
Yeah, you owe it to your friends though to pay attention. Don't waste their time. Next up, we have the game extender. This is the person who kind of just wants to play one game, and their deck is going to make sure that you play a 3-hour game.
I hate these. I hate the person that just, for some reason, doesn't want to win the game. They want the game to go on forever. When 4 of these people get together, they play 4-hour games of EDH, and it never ends.
That's when you hear about we played a 6-hour game, or no, I don't know. D, they're not
easy D.
Yeah, I feel like cheaters kind of soiling the poop tier, so maybe we'll wait. The next one, hoarders. These are the people who have 100 decks, and they're all bad. They're all like below what you'd expect for someone who has 1,000 reasonable cards plus. It's so weird. Why not just build like 5 really good decks?
Yeah, hoarders just shove decks together. They shove them together as much as they can. They have so many decks. It's ridiculous, actually.
Right, and the thing is, I would never know how many decks they had if they like didn't tell me every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, someone at the game night is like, oh guys, I forgot my commander deck. Anyone got one I can borrow? I have 63 decks you can borrow. They're all right here. Here's my bookshelf of decks.
No, here's my Black & Decker thing that I've seen like 10 different people carry decks in.
Yeah, it's a little much. I don't know. I'm thinking like, it's not so much how they play. It's their philosophy of building decks. So you want to say like C minus?
I'm in D.
D? You're just
I'm
in D?
in D.
Let's put it above extender at least.
Yeah. We can put it above the extender. Yeah.
Okay. The next one is Jank Master. 100% always plays Jank. Loves Jank, builds Jank. Decks are bad, but they know it, and they just want to play Jank.
This is a B or A.
I was thinking B. So I think we're in the same.
It's fine, but it's still when you can play whatever deck you want. But the thing that gets annoying to me is like if your deck is too bad and you just get completely run over, it's like you weren't even part of the game. And sometimes I've played against those decks where it's like, well, me and you certainly played a 1-on-1, but the people we sat down with brought really bad decks, and it wasn't like. It's like, sorry. I mean, you never had a chance, though.
I've been that person because I built the all 1-drops deck. That deck was so fun. I really want to bring it back. Next up, the Netdecker. This is, I'm going to look up, I put Verena as the little icon because it's the closest thing that I've seen to like the internet that a Magic card looks at. But it's like, they look on EDH Rec, they hit, build average deck for Verena Lich Queen. And then that's what they sleeve up. They don't even make any tweaks to it. Or even worse, they just proxy or buy sight unseen some CEDH deck, and then they show up to play it, and they don't know how to play it.
All right. Yeah, I absolutely... This is poop tier for me. These people build a deck that they have no clue how to play. They don't know the lines to win. They don't know how to put it together. They don't know what their cards are, even why they're in their deck. Like, they'll have a combo piece that they just throw out on the battlefield for no reason. It's just like, what are you doing? That's only for when you finish the game.
Yeah, it's like, I'll play Ice Conceptor, and I'll imprint, like, Brainstorm or something. Like, what? Why? That's just a combo piece. You know, if you don't know what your deck is doing, I say it's poop. But I think if you do kind of know and you just net deck, I would throw that on D. Because not everybody who net decks has no idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'll throw it in like high D. But, you know, have some passion. Throw in your favorite cards, you know? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to tell you how to play. Next up, we have the Noob. The innocent, carefree, when do I draw a card noob.
Is I draw a card before or after upkeep?
Now, do I pick one up every turn? It's like, okay. I don't want to play EDH with a noob, honestly. I will happily teach them how to play in a separate environment, but if we're playing, I think it's pretty close to poop tier. It's awful. Have you ever done that?
No.
Being selfish anyway, it's awful. Like, for them, I'm sure. You know what? Even for them, it's probably super overwhelming.
I mean, I've never played against anybody really that noobish, I don't think.
Yeah, what do you think? Where should we throw it?
You could. Yeah, what do you think?
I would say I'd throw it in poop tier, but it's not the fault of the noob. It's the fault of the friends. Don't throw a noob into an EDH game.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's more of a lesson. So next is I'll put it in quotes, the pacifist. You have a 3/3 out on turn 2, and no one else has any blockers, and you just pass the turn.
Because you don't want to make it. I hate this.
Don't make an enemy? No, you're the same. You're almost no better than the freaking game extenders who just let the game go on forever. It's like, no, it's fine. I'm not mad, right? Like, I've never been mad when someone hits me. I'm like, I've said before, I'm like, hit somebody, I don't even care if it's me. Like, you just need to get into the practice of attacking somebody. I'm not going to feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. Sitting there and not attacking when you have a free attack is super annoying.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, what's in it for you?
Like,
it's bad for you.
Attack somebody. Well, I'll roll a dice to see who I attacked. So it's not me. It's the dice deciding it. I hate that.
Yeah, so we'll throw the pacifist in D tier.
Yeah, D's fine.
Because mostly that doesn't come up all that often, but when it does, it's kind of irritating. We got a nice healthy spread too. I expected a lot of these would be in like poop or something. I don't know why. Politician is next. This is the person, silver tongue. They're constantly making deals. They're shaking hands with everybody. They're doing different stuff. Like, oh, well, if you don't attack me for 1.5 turns, and then you do attack me the next turn, I'll give you this in exchange for this. What do you think?
What do you think?
I do this. I politic a lot, but I wouldn't call myself a politician.
I would.
I don't necessarily make the intangible deals, but I definitely have the silver tongue where I'll say, well, they're a threat, or they have this and this. But I don't think I make deals as much. Like, I don't exchange non-card resources.
Does anyone exchange non-card resources?
Yes. If you say I won't attack you, that's not cards, but you're exchanging resources. You're making a deal.
You do that stuff all the time.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, politician, where do you want to put him? B?
I was thinking like C.
Too much, it gets annoying. But, you know, every EDH game has some politics.
Yeah, some, but like I'm talking about the guy who nonstop.
Oh, yeah. I don't definitely do that. I don't do that nonstop.
You do it a lot.
I do it once per game.
He does it a lot.
All right. I think we have a shoe-in for poop tier because you are the dirge of the Commander Society. If you are a pub stomper, you bring your competitive deck purposefully to a non-competitive table, and then you win. And you feel so good about yourself, but you're the worst.
Easy poop tier.
Get out of my format. You're a loser. The next we have the Rager. This is, you take the game too seriously, and you're really mad.
I've been the Rager before. Been there, done that.
Or sometimes I like to say this, you make people fear that there's non-game consequences to their actions. Like, oh, if you attack me, I'm going to be really mad. Like, for this game, or you're just going to be really mad at me because I won't attack you if you're going to be really mad at me. So that is, I think, is just poop tier.
Yeah.
I think it's easy poop.
Poop is a good tier.
Keep your rage out of the game. Next up, we have another subset of the spike. It's the solitaire players. I put Jafari because that's the one that lets you play solitaire.
Yep.
It means just taking turns that last 5-10 minutes. I have a deck that does that. It's just like never giving, if there's, everyone should have 25%, you have like 60% of the playtime in the game. Nobody wants that.
No.
D tier, poop tier? What do you think?
Poop tier. Put 'em in poop
Where,
tier.
where though? Is it below Rager? I think Cheater is the worst one. And then Pub Stomper is above that.
No, I think Pup Stomper's... No, maybe... Yeah, Cheater's probably worse than the Pup Stomper.
Yeah, okay. So we've got a solid poop tier developing. Next we have the Spender, the High Roller. You've got this blinged out all foil deck. Maybe you brag about it every once in a while.
This is like B tier. There's nothing usually not too bad, but
just don't be a jerk.
They tend to brag about it.
Yeah, it's just like the guy with 100 decks. They're gonna tell you about it.
Yeah, they're going to bring it up. No, nobody brings their $10,000 deck and doesn't mention they have a $10,000 deck.
Right. The only time I have a deck like that, I don't think I brag about it all that much. I just enjoy having it. Mm-hmm. So I'm more of the collector. All right. There's 3 more.
And collector.
There's 3 more. The third last one is trader. I have this as the person who makes a bunch of deals, but then they always backstab you. So people don't like to make deals with this person, or they know that the deal is going to be fleeting.
Basically, a politician that never keeps their end of the bargain. D.
Just a jerk. He's just a jerk.
He's just worse than a politician.
Yeah, you're just like wasting people's time by pretending to make deals. The next one I have, it's called Unwanted. Okay, this is every single human being who's ever played Commander in a group at a game store has had this happen. It is there's a formula, right? So you take the number of players in your game that you want to play, and then you use N+1, and then they're that number wheel. 4 players. Hey, you got room for a 5th? No, I don't like you. You're the 5th wheel. And then most of the time they end up playing because you're not an actual scumbag. So you have to let them play. But it's the person you really would just rather not be playing Commander with at this very moment.
Yeah. I don't mind playing Commander with 99% of people, and I don't even mind playing with usually the person I would consider the unwanted. But when you interject, this person interjects himself into games when there's like, hey, I'm joining. It's like, how about, one, we have 4 players, and you didn't ask. You made a statement.
Right. So this is different from obviously just asking like, hey, I'm new here. You guys like want to play Commander? It's like, obviously that's fine. This is more of a, I'm playing Commander with you. Sits down, brings out thing, and everyone's like, oh, we were going to play a 3-player game, but I guess you're here now.
Yep, we certainly did want to play a game of EDH, and we certainly 4 players is optimal. And
oh, you brought your board wipe tribal deck. Cool. I'm just gonna put you in D tier, right below the board wipe tribal deck.
And what's the last one?
The last one is the whiner. This is much different from the rager. This is, you just complain every time anything doesn't go your way. You're like, oh man, I really wish I had my Vorinclex, but you swords my Vorinclex over his Psalm Simulacrum when he's going to draw a card. Like, sometimes you're just complaining about nonsense.
I don't know if anyone's ever made that fake complaint.
Well, that's what the Screaming Shield makes. That's the complaint that I picture Screaming Shield screaming.
He's screaming about...
You swords my Vorinclex. You swords my huge threat. Don't complain when people blow up your threats. Usually, from their point of view, it could be the correct play. Like, you don't even know. And there's basically no way to know unless you play face up, which you're not. So just leave the hardcore complaining out of it. I would put this towards D.
D's fine, yeah.
Right above the Hoarder. No, right below the Hoarders. All right, this is the definitive tier list of every human being who's ever played Commander. Everyone falls into this. You have to.
That's not true at all.
I think Disclaimer guys got us on that one.
Also, these are stereotypes.
Yeah, they're not...
Obviously, the reason that the bottom end is filled up when we're talking about stereotypes is because stereotypes tend to be negative in connotation overall.
Yeah. I would love to know what stereotypes we left off. There's definitely a couple. I know, like, we can't include a million stereotypes, but there's a couple I'm thinking off the top of my head. The stoner is one, and then I'm thinking of the guy who It's like eating food while you're playing.
The guy who eats food while you're playing, I hate that.
Like
guy.
unwrapping a Subway sub. You're just like, can you not? You have to cut my deck.
It's like, yeah, I literally always eat before my games of EDH. It's like I'm not going to eat while I'm playing my game of EDH.
Yeah, that's nonsense. But let us know any other stereotypes or people you play with, or maybe how many people do you know that fall into one of these stereotypes? Like, how many boxes do you check? Because if you check all 25, I'd be really impressed.
You can't.
Maybe.
How can you be a Timmy combo player?
No, not you. People you've met.
Oh.
Like, oh yeah, I know a Timmy and a Brewer and a guy who plays solitaire.
I mean, I've definitely met every one of these.
Maybe.
I feel like I've played against every one of these at least once.
Yeah, probably. Maybe like friends. Whatever. Let us know. Just comment something, okay? We want to talk to you. But we're done. We got to do the end of the episode stuff.
Special shout outs to all of our patrons. We love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. You guys are the heart and soul of this channel. If you would like to become a patron and be entered to win a foil Crater of Behemoth, you can go down to the
description below
and click the Patreon link. It'll take you there. You get lots of cool perks with our Patreon. And by the end of August 2020, if you're a patron, I guess I should probably say the date because anyone can watch this at any time. If you're by the end of that date, you are a patron, you will be entered to win the foil Crater of Behemoth.
Which sounds pretty good to me. I would love to be a patron, but I'm already creating the content, so I can't.
You can.
And I also own the card.
It'd also be useless. You would just be giving yourself money.
That's why I can't.
No, you can. It's just useless.
I better get on to patreon.com right now. Hope to see you there. Also, you can go to the description. We're going to list something that you can go click at the link. Takes you to TCG Player. You'll view this something. You don't have to buy this something. Buy whatever you want just by navigating the little search bar, and we get a kickback on the order.
Yeah, so that's awesome. We would love if you guys did that. If you can't get enough of me, and sometimes never Beezy.
Never sometimes me.
I stream at 10 a.m. on weekdays. This morning, if you're watching this when this is coming out, Amonkhet. New Amonkhet drafts I'm going to be trying.
It's on Twitch. You didn't say where it was.
On Twitch. I stream on Twitch.
Yes. And we're done.
Are we?
I had a lot of fun. Hopefully we can find some more categories. That's what I want you guys to recommend too. Is more tier list stuff we can do that's based on Commander.
Yeah, what Commander tiers do you want to see? What do you want us to rank?
Utter nonsense like this.
Peace out, Tribe Scout.